This is CES MMA.
Welcome back. We're live from Twin River Casino. CES MMA 20 rolls along. We're in the lightweight division, and this one's going to be a war. Scott Franklin Isabel from Chelsea, Mass., who's already in the cage. He stands at 3-5 with 3 submission victories, so definitely a finisher, making his return to the ring for the first time in 2 years, taking on who you're looking at right now, Nate the Snake Andrews from East Providence, Rhode Island, who is 5-0 with 3 knockouts. Took a big fight, a big step up in his last bout against Jeff Anderson. He submitted him in the opening round. That fight was in June, probably his toughest fight aside from the Leon Davis bout at the Dunkin' Donuts Center last October.
Nate hasn't taken an easy road, you know. In both fighters, you take a 2-year layoff, one of 2 things happen. You went back, you reset, you had a second look at yourself, maybe some life issues. You come back hungry for it. And your first fight back in 2 years against Nate Andrews, you got to be pretty confident in your abilities.
Nate Andrews has progressed up that ladder 1 rung at a time. Of course, last time out taking on the veteran Jeff Anderson, he stopped him in the opening round. That was his biggest win of his career. So he now comes in at 5-0, 29 years of age. And against a guy like Franklin Isabel, not really known in the CES Rhode Island circuit, fought mostly for AFO and Cage Effects in Massachusetts, but he makes his Rhode Island debut tonight. And again, like we said, fighting for the first time since 2011. So, and as you said, either it's cage rust or he's hungrier than ever.
Right. It's got to be one of 2 things. An independent fighter, for the most part, will travel around to a bunch of different gyms. Maybe he doesn't live close to one, or he hasn't found one he likes. You just hope after his 2-year layoff he was smart and he went to work.
And we'll see if Nate the Snake Andrews can continue that climb. Certainly one of the more promising fighters in Rhode Island.
I really like to watch Nate. He's a very exciting fighter. And again, I'm a little bit, I'm not going to say biased, but I love the fact that he trains and spends so much time at Timmy Burrill's. He's Timmy Burrill, Damon Smith, Matt Santos. They're all excellent jiu-jitsu practitioners for MMA. And that's a huge difference. There's a different aspect to MMA when it comes to jiu-jitsu, and they know it, and they're good at it. And Nate spends time there.
Andrews doing the customary snake entrance inside the cage, hence the nickname. He certainly plays the part well.
You remember when he fought Leon Davis at Dunk Center last year at the pay-per-view? It was a tight fight going back and forth in the first round. Nate might have been losing that and then snuck that standing guillotine in.
All right, let's take a look at the Jim Beam tail of the tape. Nate Andrews comes in at 5-0. Big height advantage at 6 feet on the dot, while Franklin Isabel stands in at 5'6". His record is 4-5 overall. Let's send it down to Rick Provost for the official introduction.
This is the Jim Beam bout of the evening. This fight is scheduled for 3 5-minute rounds in the lightweight division. The referee at cage side is Dan Migliata. Fighting, let's introduce our contestants. First, in the blue corner, weighing in at 156 pounds, with a professional record of 4 wins and 5 losses, with 4 wins coming by way of submission. Out of Chelsea, Massachusetts, representing Team Independent, please welcome Franklin Turtle Isabel. And out of the red corner, weighing in at 158.5 pounds, with a professional record of 5 wins, with no losses, 3 wins coming by way of knockout, and 2 by submission, out of East Providence, Rhode Island, representing Triforce MMA and New England Combat, please welcome Nate the Snake Andrews. 3 rounds in the lightweight division.
Now, Mike, you see Frank Isabella's shorts. He's wearing old school style tie shorts. I love that. But they do say wide crew across the belly. That's an interesting point. You know, oh, he comes flying out. Wow, Frank Isabella comes flying out like someone stole something.
Well, maybe that's 2 years of pent-up frustration.
Holy smokes. Nate Andrews did a great job of just dropping a knee onto him. But that was...
Didn't quite work as he hoped it would. We saw that work for Chandler Holderness against Taj Chattel last year.
But Chandler did that when he jumped as he was running with a flying knee. I didn't see any type of offense besides a sprint out of Frank there. And I think Nate's all set right now, just taking him down hard.
Big
These
right
are big
hands.
right hands. I think that might have made Nate a little upset.
It probably did. He may have felt a bit slighted by it. And now he's dropping those right hands. Lets Isabel back up. 4:15 to go in round one. Nice rear leg kick.
Oh, that's the end of the night, boys and girls. What a vicious rear leg to the neck to put this wow out of the wow. Have I said wow?
You want to talk about poise and an impressive finish. Nate Andrews not fazed at all by the fast start by Isabel. Drops the rear leg kick right to the neck. Knocks Isabel out. Celebrates for the crowd. Another impressive win for Nate Andrews here at Twin River. And Isabel is still out.
Isabella's head is still attached to his shoulders by the grace of God. That's what that was.
What an unbelievable finish. Scott, sometimes when that opponent comes running in like that, you can get caught off guard if you're not ready. Andrews was prepared. We're going to take a look here at the Badass Incorporated replay to see how this all unfolded, and it unfolded pretty quickly. But here's the ending, Scott.
Bang! That kick goes right to the neck, and you see how the foot wraps around the head. Perfect tie kick, but he set that up. The previous kick went inside leg and low, then he goes upstairs. But boom, he brings that right up, and Isabella was turning away, exposing even more of his neck. Great job by Dan Magliotta getting in there and stopping that fight on a dime, knowing that fighter was out not to take any more punishment.
And thankfully, Franklin Isabel makes his way back to his feet. Tough ending for him after not having been in the cage for 2 years and only lasts about a shade over a minute.
I really think he pissed Nate off coming out like that.
He may have very well rattled the snake cage, if you will, and Nate the Snake, of course, finishes him off early in round number one. We'll find out exactly how early. Let's send it down to our cage announcer, Rick Provost, for the particulars.
CES MMA fight fans, at 51 seconds of the first round, your winner by knockout, Nate the Snake Andrews.